Okay, so we're going to do the week 2 lesson 1 warm up. So back to unit 3 where we are looking at time zones. So we've got a question here that has given us cities, countries and standard time relative to UTC. Okay, so Sarah departs Sydney. So let's write Sarah, and she departs Sydney at 6:15 a.m. on a Saturday, and she goes to Johannesburg in South Africa, and the flight takes 14 hours and 18 minutes. So we need to add plus 14 hours and 18 minutes. So that's the travel. And this is going to give us the time she arrives in Sydney time. So the 18 minutes to the 15 minutes is going to give us 33 minutes past the hour. We're adding 12 hours, which will give us 8 p.m. 6 p.m. Another 2 hours gives us 8 p.m. So she would arrive in Sydney at 8:33 p.m. on Saturday. And we have to remember that this is Sydney time. Okay, so what time is it in Johannesburg? So in Johannesburg, let's have a look at our table up here. Between Sydney, we've got plus 10, and Johannesburg plus 2. The difference, it is later in Sydney than it is in Johannesburg, so the difference is 8 hours. So therefore we need to take 8 hours away. So let's subtract our 8 hours. So we're adding the travel there, and we're subtracting 8 hours, which is the time difference here. So if it's still going to be 33, 8 hours take 8 hours away from 8 p.m, it's going to be 12. It's still going to be p.m. Okay. Alright, now we haven't quite answered the question yet. So it is 12:33 p.m. on Saturday in Johannesburg. Okay, now the next part of the question is saying her friend Marcus. So let's change colour for Marcus. Make sure you can see that on the board. Okay, so we've got Marcus now, and he arrives in, so this is arrive in Johannesburg at the same time on the flight that took. So he arrives in Johannesburg at 12:33 p.m. on Saturday. Okay, now the flight took, now this is past tense, it took 18 hours and 15 minutes. So we have to actually take away 18 hours and 15 minutes. So this time we're subtracting the flight time. And this will tell us the time that he departed Lima. Okay, but in Johannesburg time. So let's take the 15 minutes away from 33, that's 18 minutes, and let's take the 18 hours away from 12:33 p.m. on Saturday. So we are looking, take the 12 hours away, that would be 12:33 a.m. on Saturday, take another 6 hours away, that would be 6:18 p.m. on Friday. Now that's Johannesburg time. Determine the local time and day that Marcus left Lima. So now we actually have to have a look up here, and we go Lima is minus 5 hours and Johannesburg is plus 2 hours. So therefore, Johannesburg is plus 7 hours. Okay, so we are going to add 7 hours. We will get 18 p.m. Sorry, 18, because we're adding a whole number of hours. Sorry, the difference here is we need to subtract the 7 hours. So because we're in Johannesburg and we need to get to Lima, Peru time. So that's +2 and that's -7. So we're actually taking away 7 hours. So my mistake, sorry. So we take away the 7 hours. So if it's 6:18 p.m. on Friday, we need to take away the 7 hours. It's still going to be 18 minutes past the hour. So we take 6 hours away will get us to 12:18 p.m. We need to take another hour away, which will give us to 11, but it's going to be 11 a.m. on Friday. So therefore our answer is, to the question that's been asked, Marcus left Lima at 11:18 a.m. on Friday. Make sure you leave a worded answer. Just to help you out up here, let's just position on a map. There's our 0 hours UTC. +10 is here, and that's Sydney. +2 is here, and that's Johannesburg. And -5 is here, and that's Lima. So just so you understand the difference here between Sydney and Johannesburg, remember you add time as you go east. So we take away the 8 hours here, and this time we wanted to go from Johannesburg to Lima. So we're starting at Johannesburg and we need to get to Lima, so we take that 7 hours. I hope that clears up that little issue there. Thank you.